All right, picture this. You're walking into the Estadio Ramón Sánchez-Pizjuán, right under those bright Andalusian lights. You're wearing the famous white shirt of Real Madrid, arguably the biggest club in world football. But tonight, that shirt feels a lot more like a straitjacket. You aren't walking into a celebration, you are walking into an absolute boiling point. Welcome to this explainer, where we're going to dissect an incredibly tense, high-stakes psychological drama unfolding on the pitch between Sevilla and a deeply fractured Real Madrid.
So let's dive right into this crushing context. Why is the pressure so immense right out of the gate? Well, because Real Madrid has officially lost the La Liga title. They're sitting a massive 11 points behind the champions, Barcelona. And to make matters worse, the atmosphere back home has turned really toxic. I mean, just days ago against Real Oviedo, their marquee superstar, Kylian Mbappe, was actually booed by his own supporters. That is the heavy, suffocating baggage the squad carried with them right onto the team bus to Seville. Section 1. The weight of the badge. Now, when you play for Real Madrid, expectations don't just adjust because you're having a bad week. The historical prestige of the club demands dominance, but their current reality on the pitch is frantic and frankly desperate. Pre-match, the numbers projected this total illusion of safety. On paper, it's a huge mismatch. You've got Real Madrid sitting comfortably in second place with 83 points, and Sevilla lingering way down in 13th place with barely half that total at just 43 points. A 40-point gap suggests this should be a routine, entirely comfortable victory for Madrid, right? But as we're about to see, the atmosphere inside the stadium tells a completely different story. This isn't a victory lap, this is a fight for survival.
Moving on to Section 2. Under siege in Seville.
From the very first whistle, all those pre-match points and stats went straight out the window. Let's walk through this disastrous opening 12 minutes for Madrid, because it was an absolute bombardment. Just 2 minutes in, Aurelien Tchouameni straight up gives the ball away, allowing Sevilla's Owenzo to wallop a strike just over the bar. Fast forward to the 7th minute, and it's all Sevilla again. Owenzo fires this 30-yard thunderbolt that forces Thibaut Courtois into a leaping, desperate save to tip it around the post. By the 10th minute, Mbappe is curling in a delicious cross, and Akor Adams is a fraction of an inch away from knotting it in. Madrid wasn't just losing the tactical battle, they were visibly rattled, pinned against the ropes by a team 40 points below them in the standings.
It was so bad that the live BBC Match reporter literally typed these exact words: "Golly gosh, Real Madrid look really poor. They can't get out." I want you to really absorb that for a second. These are European conquerors, a team of global superstars, and they are being suffocated in their own half. They couldn't even manage to string a few simple passes together to escape the relentless wave of white and red shirts. Section 3, against the run of play.
But here's the thing about Real Madrid, and we've seen it time and time again. Even when the pressure seems absolutely unbearable, they can somehow conjure a lifeline out of thin air. Let's slow down the footage in our minds and break down this sudden, brilliant sequence that completely defied the flow of the game. It's the 15th minute. Sevilla has been totally dominant. But in a flash, step 1, Dani Carvajal bypasses the entire midfield by launching a pinpoint ball forward. Step 2, Kylian Mbappe, the same man booed days prior, brings it down flawlessly with his chest, instantly teeing up his teammate. And step 3, Vinícius Júnior sweeps it directly into the bottom corner from the edge of the box. Boom, 1-0.
So the absolutely crucial takeaway here is this number. 1. Real Madrid only needed one single, solitary chance to take the lead. They had hardly touched the ball up to that point. They were being totally outplayed, but their sheer individual quality means that a single lapse in concentration from the opponent is fatal. It's just a brutal sucker punch. Section 4. A tense standoff. Now, if you thought that goal magically fixed Madrid's structural cracks and restored their dominance, well, you'd be wrong. Sevilla refused to back down. They just kept coming. Look at their relentless push even after conceding. Neal Maupay tests Courtois again with a low shot. Joana So gets the ball and literally turns the veteran Dani Carvajal inside out to get a yard of space, drilling a pass across the face of the goal. Akor Adams slides in and agonizingly misses the cross for a second time. Then Ruben Vargas uses his quick feet to create yet another blocked shot. Madrid was fighting tooth and nail just to maintain their incredibly fragile one-goal lead. Under this immense pressure, what Madrid is actually relying on right now is pure muscle memory. Historically, they know exactly how to survive here. They've picked up points in each of their last 6 La Liga visits to Sevilla, winning 5 of them. It's that innate grit, that stubborn refusal to collapse entirely, that is keeping them afloat in this absolute sea of Sevilla attacks. Section 5. Looking at the numbers. Okay, let's peel back the emotional layer of this match for a second and look at the underlying metrics to really prove just how much of a dogfight Madrid has been dragged into. The halftime stats are super revealing. Madrid has 61% possession, but the shots? It is a dead even 7-7. Despite dominating the ball, Madrid isn't creating more chances. In fact, Sevilla actually has more shots on target, 2-1, and that one single shot for Madrid, yep, that was Vinícius Júnior's goal. It is a frantic, back-and-forth scrap, and the numbers absolutely validate what our eyes are seeing out there on the pitch. But the defensive intensity is where the alarm bells should really be ringing for Madrid fans. Sevilla is winning a massive 58.3% of their tackles, compared to Madrid's completely dismal 28.6%. Sevilla is aggressive. They are biting into challenges. Meanwhile, a panicking Madrid defense is relying heavily on desperate measures, being forced into 7 total clearances compared to Sevilla's 4. Make no mistake, Madrid is scrambling.
Which brings us to the ultimate cliffhanger, as the players sit in the dressing room at halftime. They have the lead, yes, but they are battered, they are bruised, and they are statistically losing the physical battle against a team that absolutely refuses to quit. The question you should take away from all of this is simple yet incredibly loaded. Can a fractured, under-pressure Real Madrid survive another 45 minutes of relentless siege under those Andalusian lights, or will their structural cracks finally shatter? It's a fascinating tactical and psychological puzzle, and I hope this explainer gave you exactly what you need to understand the drama.